Namaskaram. Welcome to Isha Yoga Center. The day starts early. Everybody wakes up by 5 a.m. and start their sadhana, which lasts for a few hours. Then, the first of two meals of the day is at 10 a.m., where everyone chants together before touching the food, and then eat in total silence. During the day, everyone does something different, since everyone is here for a different reason. People who are participating in programs will be staying in one of the buildings dedicated to that specific process. Lots of people spend their day volunteering, and you also always have the chance to visit the temples. As the sun starts to go down, people again turn inwards and do their sadhana. At 7 p.m. there is dinner, and after that the ashram quiets down and people go to bed early. The first time I came to this ashram here in Coimbatore was 1 year ago. Since then I have been here a few times, but the first time I came here for the weird reason that I was really annoyed by Sadhguru, and I was repulsed by the huge amounts of people that gathered around him. And when something annoys me, I know that means that I have some work to do there. So one of the first stops on my trip in India was this ashram. And when I came here, I got the chance to meet him and listen to many of his talks, which he gave to, hundreds, if not 1,000 people around me. And it was very different from all the YouTube, all the other videos, because you have to know that the YouTube videos and most of the thing that you see about Sadhguru is not really created by him. It goes through the minds of the volunteers who put out these things onto social media. But when you read Sadhguru's books, or you actually participate in a program where he talks, it's a very different experience, a completely whole new level of the game, which I just didn't have access to from afar. But now that I was here actually sitting in front of him, I experienced him as a very loving, compassionate and insanely powerful being. And after meeting Sadhguru, it didn't take me much time to fall in love with this place. The whole place has been created with such intelligence, with such creativity, with such play. There's a living presence in everything. Even look at my door right there, it's a foot. And you can see it as you walk around the ashram, everything was created with such precision and attention. And the whole place reflects the teachings of Sadhguru. If you reject creation, you can't know anything about the Creator. So don't worry about loving God. See if you can bring love into your breath, your step, into every act that you do. Not towards anybody or anything. If you can just bring the longing to merge with everything around you, then creation will lead you on to the Creator. I remember Sadhguru had this kind of metaphor for the spiritual path. He said that he was like painting on the wall, and as the paint starts, it's very thick, and as you draw the line, it becomes thinner and thinner and thinner and it disappears. And that's his simile for what the spiritual path is. You start out very dense, and you become more subtle, you're subtler, and suddenly, that's it. And so Sadhguru created this place over long years of work, and it has become a profound space for inner transformation. A little too good of a space for inner transformation, to be honest. It's incredible. If you are looking to turn inward and to understand what this metaphor means of becoming more and more subtle, this place has been designed in a way where it will help you in tremendous ways. No doubt about it. It's funny, I keep seeing people who I saw a year ago and they're still here, just volunteering and living here. It gets addictive, definitely. And that brings us to the main point, which are the techniques and the processes that are offered by Sadhguru. The first thing I noticed when I came to the ashram is that it was overwhelming. It was very different from any other practice I have done in the past. Because for me, my practices were more on the yin side. It was more about opening up, quieting down, being more receptive, and just being like... And here people were making noises that I couldn't even imagine before. They were very active, they were full of energy, they were pushing, penetrating, forcing. Oof. It's an Adiyogi lineage, what do you expect? And so the first program you have to go through to start anything else is inner engineering and Shambhavi. Shambhavi Mahamudra Kriya is like the number one technique that you have to get initiated into if you want to learn anything else in the future. And after that, there's many more programs to go through. They have an amazing Hatha Yoga school, one of the best in the world. And you will notice that if you go through these processes, if you learn from this lineage, you will have a really solid sadhana. Like, you will be taken care of, like step by step. It has been created with such precision and care that there is just, it gives you a very solid foundation that most other places don't. And I have to say that the Isha meditators are probably the most disciplined sadhakas on the path who I've met. But there's a reason for that, because the processes, these techniques are very powerful. And if you keep doing them, you will experience amazing states of emptiness, of bliss, of like boundless ecstasy that you couldn't dream of. Everything is gonna be light, your body is gonna be healthy beyond what you imagined before. And I don't even want to go into details because there's so many positive things to say about the effect of these techniques. But I will go into detail about the pitfalls and the negative side of these techniques because that's more fun. Just to clarify, when I say negative, I don't mean that the technique is bad. Techniques are not bad or good. Techniques are just techniques. What I'm trying to point out is the motivation with which one starts a practice. Because hundreds of thousands of people come to Isha to learn these techniques. And not everybody comes here for the same reason. And because a lot of people who start spiritual practices are coming from a materialistic worldview. They are trying to know these new things by their old tools. So they are trying to understand spirituality based on experiences. And spirituality is something that goes beyond experiences. It's important to know that Isha is a business. And it's not a bad thing. That's why so many people are drawn and so many people can benefit from these practices. But it also makes it more difficult because one can get really sucked into the spiritual materialism aspect of it. You know, if you buy this special water bottle that has been bathed in the waters of Kailash, then you're gonna get instant enlightenment. And if you look around the ashram, everybody's walking around dressed as a Jedi. And maybe that's just why I like Star Wars, sorry. It's just a very beautiful place and it's easy to get attached to it. Especially because a lot of us are very alone. A lot of us feel very lonely. And suddenly you come to this place and you start to feel a sense of belonging somewhere. It's amazing. But just be careful. Because anytime you attach to an idea about who you are, or the other person is, or where you belong, or where you don't belong, just, careful there. So it's important to say that if you practice these techniques, don't forget to include the rest of your life, your family, your job, all the messiness, all your inner emotional traumas, your feelings, your thoughts, because these techniques can help you push them away if that's how you want to use these techniques. They can help you push a lot of things under the rug. And you can easily say that like, oh, well, I am just, and so many things will go unnoticed because all of the traumas, all your karma will still be there, just kind of lurking for you. So it's better not to use these techniques to push something else away. It's better not to get attached to the bliss, but realize that your karma is your dharma. And having a family dinner and an argument there is probably just as a profound spiritual practice as practicing shunya. But overall, and the reason why I'm making this video is because I think it's important to know about this opportunity that we have with Sadhguru. There are not many living gurus in our age, and in my opinion, he is one of them. And so that's why I'm making this video, because Sadhguru is still here, he's alive, he's here, and he is dedicating his whole life to uplift others, which is a very rare thing in our world. And so I do think that if you feel called, you take this opportunity and you take this step. And especially if you are just finishing high school and you have no idea what to do in life and you feel confused, Isha has a program called Sadhana Pada, which is a 7-month program My friends did it and they said amazing things about it, where you move into the ashram for free and you live here for 7 months, you go through the programs, you practice, you volunteer, and you live here. And I think it's an incredible opportunity in our world. And so if you're finishing high school and you feel a little bit lost, I think you should check it out. As I am making this video, Sadhguru is somewhere nearby recovering from a surgery that he went through. And I want to take this moment just to thank him and to express my gratitude for all the amazing work that he's done and all the change that he has created in so many people's lives. And I wish him a fast recovery, although I don't think he needs my wish. I think all this is just part of his Leela. But still, thank you so much for watching the video, and pranam.